Yeah, I thought we played pretty well against Madison. It was one of those games where it's the second time playing a team, and first game we went there and took care of business, and honestly, in my opinion, probably played our best game that we've played all season from start to finish. So, I think that was the hardest thing going into the Madison game, is just getting guys focused and understanding that, Madison's a good team and they're going to come at you a little bit harder than what they did the first time. And I thought our guys did a pretty good job responding to that. I'd say offensively we were really, really good the second time around. Defensively, was not as thrilled on the defensive end this past game. Thought we had some effort-related issues at times that probably need to get cleaned up moving forward. But it's one of those things where offensively feel really good. Our guys are starting to play pretty confidently, starting to shoot a little bit. So a lot of good things to build on there offensively. I've coached, actually during COVID when I was at Marion, we had a scrimmage against Randy in which my boss at the time, Drake Diener, actually had COVID, or there's something that happened there. So I ended up coaching that scrimmage against Randy. But that is the only time prior that I had any conversation with Randy, Coach Casey, I should say. So yeah, last year was the first time.
What is that? Can you walk me back through just the first matchup, the last time being at Mount Mary, what that was like for you?
Yeah, his suit game was much better than mine. So that was kind of infuriating. Used to take a lot of pride in my suits, to be honest with you, and he's got me beat. So I'm not even going to argue that. I'm sure he'll have a pretty good one on tomorrow. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to wear one yet or not. Hasn't worked for me the last two times. But no, I mean, it kind of, it went as expected, I guess you could say, in the sense of they're a really good team. Coach Casey's done a great job there. They've won a national championship. Got guys playing the right way. They play really hard. They're talented every year. They're definitely one of the teams to beat in Region 4, if that makes sense. It doesn't matter what year it is. Doesn't matter what the record is. MATC is always going to be a team that is going to be tough to beat. Yeah. I think the South sub game was kind of a wake-up call for our guys in the sense of because they're another program that's one of the teams in Region 4 that, if you want to be one of the quote-unquote big dogs, that's one of the teams you got to beat. And it doesn't matter what year it is. As long as Coach Pagatti's there, they're going to be good. And it's one of those things where I think we were a little overwhelmed by the environment at times down at South Sub, which I think was good. At the end of the day, really, really good experience for our guys to learn from. Because at the end of the day, we got to learn how to win close games down the stretch. We haven't had a ton of close games this year, which is a blessing and a curse. So, I think being in a close game in a hostile environment was good for us. I think tomorrow, is going to be something along similar lines. I mean, it's usually a really well-attended game. I wouldn't expect anything less. I think it'll be extremely loud in there. It'll be pretty chaotic, and I think that's what you want. I mean, that's college basketball. It's entertaining. It's what the fans want. At the end of the day, as a player, I'm sure those guys love it. I don't know if I love it quite as much, but
I'll say, does that bring the juices out? When you play, does that bring a little bit?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's natural. It's, human instinct, get a little adrenaline pumping. I told our guys actually this morning, shoot around, I'm like, fellas, it don't matter what you think right now. When we get there and it's 7 o'clock and there's a little bit of life in that gym, your adrenaline's going to be pumping. I think that's the biggest thing, especially in this game, is not letting your emotions get the best of you. I think last year, we struggled with that. Whether it was interacting with things that were out of our control, such as the fans and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, the game's played in between the lines. And I think, we as a coaching staff need to keep reminding these guys of that. It's not rocket science. Guys are going to know it's a big game. They're going to see a lot of people there. I mean, that gets players going. It's all about the players. The me versus Randy thing, Coach Casey, I'm a small fish in a really big pond. I keep going back to that. I mean, you look at this region, Randy Casey and Coach Pagatti have both won national championships. And then you got Coach Robinson at Waubonsie, who's been national tournament and has had a lot of success over there. So, I mean, you know, I don't think anybody's worried about Coach Ruffing. You know, they look at me as like the young gun that's probably loud and obnoxious. And so from a coaching, like from that perspective, there's no draw. I mean, outside of who might have the better suit, like I said, and Randy's going to win. But, you know, reason to come out for sure is going to be just the sheer, the game itself, the sheer entertainment. I mean, it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun environment. Really, two really talented teams. I mean, MATC is super talented. They got some guys that can really go. We got some guys that can go, and it's just one of those games. You got two teams that were within such a close proximity of one another. You know, it's always exciting stuff. You know, I don't know if you define it as a rivalry or not. I think it's starting to become one, but like, you know, we gotta take care of business for it to be a rivalry, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the Bears and Packers, you know, like Bears fans, like they try to claim it's a rivalry, and it's like, oh, you haven't beat us in how many years, and now they finally have. So like, I guess the rivalry's on, but for me, it's another game. It's against a really good team and really talented group.